3 points here today and have a good performance in their final Playday next week. Heaven knows, we only find out by getting through the rounds that await us.
Heaven knows, we have waited long enough to see Vitality make it through into the major. They've been close a couple of times and always seem to just fall down at the final hurdle. Well, Des, we are stood in front of that final hurdle, or very nearly, once again for Vitality. And a 3-point win here is going to go a long, long way. So let's see if they can get it over the line this time. Let's see if they can get that job done. We are loading into Oregon. We've really not seen a lot of Oregon through stage 3, so I'm pretty excited to get into this one. I'm pretty excited to see how this one shapes up. Thatcher and FLORES going to be the first two bans. Team Secret will take their second and our first defender. I'd imagine we'll be picking from the standard stock. Ooh, we won't be picking from the standard stock. Smoke is going to go. I would now imagine we'll have Mirror or Valkyrie as the second, but that's an interesting ban on the Smoke.
It is indeed. Normally reserved for things like target bans, and it's going to be the Clash. Coming in against Secret, not a massive surprise. It's Packball's go-to operator. In fact, I can think of a couple of times on this map throughout history where Packball has had some big clutches coming out on the Clash. It being taken away makes perfect sense, but does give us some very interesting defender bans there, Ace. Like you say, the Mirror's still up, the Valkyrie's still available. You could yet see both being brought out in some of these rounds, and wouldn't that be a delightful surprise?
Well, I mean, I'd be more surprised if we don't see either of those picked up at any point. Not being picked immediately, but I would certainly expect to see one or the other at some point, Mirror or Valkyrie. We know how powerful both of them are now. Team Secret are coming back from a pretty tough defeat in the last Playday, Des. It wasn't an easy outing for them, that much is fair to say. It was a struggle, and it was one that they could not overcome, so we'll see just how the mental fortitude of Team Secret is looking. They know that they've at least got the opportunity to fight relegation. That much is on their side, so to a degree, the pressure's off for Team Secret now.
In a way, yeah.
It's not overall, bigger picture. They still have that relegation fight to look forward to. But in terms of EUL, it's not going to get any worse than it is right now. No,
for sure. And so playing without the pressure on side, I agree, could be massive for them. Excited to see what Kendrew's Amaru is going to do in this round, because it was 6 picked in. And either they've now looked at the lineup they saw for the defenders and wrongly assumed it would be a top floor defense, or they have a plan for the basement, maybe to look towards clearing out the top floor if members of Vitality will be out on the roam. And the roaming duo we often see for Vitality is P4, with Rise normally supporting from somewhere nearby. But P4 is always the one getting up in the faces of people, looking to cause some damage, and could yet prove to be much the same here. Hanging out inside a dining off towards kitchen, but of course can rotate around showers as well. Essentially looking to contest all the way in towards the shower side of the map. And Kendrew springing into action on the top floor like a really bad Spider-Man here is what I was going to go for. I was going to say Superman for a second there. Not really seen Superman go charging in with Gara hooks, but hey, that's the thing. They've just about got away with the barricade coming down there inside of Freezer, but Kendrew's wasting no time at all. 30 seconds in, hatches being opened up. Maybe looking to catch the man inside of Freezer, but by this point, I imagine he is already backed away into Highway and is safe with the rest of his team. There he is.
He has. Kendrew just smelling an opportunity there, didn't he? He was straight on. He heard the barricade going up, shots in, no messing about, onto the hard breach, get the hatch, and just really try to apply that pressure on to Freezer. And then all of a sudden, a quick rotate, Des, and we see him down at the bottom of Laundry Stairs. But Vitality have barricaded this one up, so there's not going to be too much of an opportunity for a surprise necessarily. As it gets shot out, they're going to be well aware that, not specifically Kendrew, but that somebody is at the bottom of Laundry Stairs. Vitality, for the time being, they've not really had any choice but to just absorb this early pressure. They've not been pushed around in sight just yet, but Team Secret have made very quick progress into the map. They've got themselves established. They're ready at Laundry. They're ready in Freezer, and they are pretty much ready to start pushing forward and trying to get some kills here.
I love how Kendrew's being so keen as well, basically playing this, rapid entry for the team. Burns through both his drones, so hey, there's your agency to step forward and try and take some kills. Sees the Maestro, but not quite losing the life. See him peek out at the other side. Cactus down to about 75 HP or so. Sleben drawing first blood onto Bibu. Grenades raining through. 2 kills raining back in for the side of Vitality. Make it a third before Sleben does start to balance the books back out once again. So that initial point of aggression coming out of Secret has been halted here. Sleben also going down, and Kendrew, he's going to have to pull off an absolute miracle here to keep this one going all the way. Ace hits the deck as Cactus goes for a swing out with the Bailiff in hand rather than the Elder. Steps his way back in. A bait on one side, a switch towards the next. Will you see the Maestro step back across? I imagine not at this point, but he's got a lot to go through. 45 seconds and 3 left alive.
Kendrew just trying to play patient here. Bit of trigger discipline, holding his position. Hops through, uses the noise of that Shumiker launcher to cover it, Des, but gets shut down by the Tachanka himself after managing to pick up one on the Maestro. It was a valiant effort from Kendrew. And on a different day, if he wins that gunfight on the Tachanka, you can see the timeline where maybe he goes on and it's at least got an opportunity in a 1v1. It was them on this matchup. Nothing changes for them, win or lose. So whilst there is pressure there for the team further on, it isn't right now. And you can see that on the faces, you know, and the more they play for fun, the more they play with a bit of confidence, the more that they enjoy the fact that pressure's lifted. You know, maybe they can get something out of this one.
May have just slightly baited Vitality and thinking a Ying is coming along here. But no, it's the Amaru coming back in once again for Kendrew, this time round on a site that is maybe a bit more applicable. The top floor, we've seen a number of creative pushes on this site, mainly out of what was previously known as Temper at the time, I believe. They had a good game against G2 here. Came flying in through the kids' window with the Gyro Hook of the Amaru. Managed to get the plant down as well, just completely baiting G2 into all the wrong positions and capitalising off the back of it. Wonder if Secret have got something similar stored in their back pocket here, or if it's going to be a different window that becomes the target.
15 seconds left to go. As you say, that Warden on the side of Vitality has other uses aside from the Ying, can see through any smoke canisters that get deployed, anything like that that would obscure the line of sight, but I'm not sure how much use it will be specifically here. It's potential, Des, that it's just for the option of bringing the shotgun along to create the rotates. There's no real other option on side. The smoke is not available, so just an alternative to do the transformation on site that you need to.
And so many teams have tried to make Chanka work in that role, right? But very frequently we just see the flames being ineffective. You know, teams never really... Can you not poke me with that stick almost? Beat me with your stick. That's the way it's starting to shape up. But I think, like I say, it's the kind of... You don't want to bring a Chanka along, okay? Kendra, I get the idea. It doesn't quite work out the way you had planned, but it's a thing. Keenan's in as well. The plant is going down here inside of behind the dorms. Seven finding yet another bat. The C4 on towards White Stairs. Not going to find a man, but 2 kills found by Vitality to start the bounce back. A 2v2. Vitality on a swing once again, but Patbull finds a double. That's not something you say every single day. Rye's got to pull it off, but Keenan finding him out from inside of the North Kids dorms. And the shutdown comes through. A good, fast round, even if the initial entry point of the Amaru was shut down.
Yeah, as suggested from Team Secret, you know, they're happy to try things. They're happy to mix it up, do it a little bit differently, take a chance, roll the dice, and that's exactly what they've done in round 2. And it worked. They got the plant down, and they just caught Vitality by surprise. So certainly some work to be done for the French side. But I think they're going to be aware of that now. You know, that you probably don't get away with that again. Now, they've got the Warden in place. Again, I'd imagine for the shotgun. Ooh, the 6th. Look at that for matching 6 picks. The Warden goes to the Frost. And fortunately for Vitality, it looks like the Ying's getting taken away as well.
Not to the Amaru. Just going across onto the Maverick here. So, not so much leading into something too crazy. This will probably be Kendrew going up towards Attic now as his focus to push his way forwards. Not that there's really anything to worry about, as there is no solid wall denial coming out of the other side. And I did have to dig the points up just to make sure I was doubly sure of how this shapes out. If Vitality win this game in regulation and get 3 points, they are tied for 3rd place with Rogue, which would force Kavana out of the top 4. Now, that's all well and good, because you could say, okay, then great. Well, Kavana are on 13, Rogue, Vitality are on 15, Empire are on 16, and BDS are on 22. Not a problem. The issue comes in when the last Playday for both Vitality and Rogue are the 2 teams going up against each other. So that's really where the opportunity to win points is going to come from. And assuming Kavana can beat Heroic, they'll jump into 3rd place, and it will ultimately be, you know, the winner of the game between Rogue and Vitality that go to the major, with the other one going home. It's going to mean everything on that final Playday. Still so much to play for, and we love it when a competition isn't decided 2 or 3 days out from the end of it. It's actually the very final day.
Oh, it's the dream, realistically, for people in our position, Des. We want it coming right down to the wire. We don't want to know exactly what is going to happen. Now, Kendrew picking up the man inside of Big Tower. It's going to be the Malusi of P4 that he spots out, so he'll no doubt be aware of the pressure mounting there as the barricade gets opened. You can see P4 trained on there, and that was the attempt, but they miss their man. Packbull just unable to hit the shots through the barricade there. He was firing blind, so it certainly wasn't an easy one, and P4 and Rise, they're going to scurry away into that basement and going to pop up in different locations by the look of it. P4 heading for Laundry, Rise heading to Freezer.
Just doing what P4 does best, right? Getting out around the map, being busy, making sure he's not stuck in one place for too long. The kind of guy who will greet you at a doorway if you're given the opportunity to. And a C4 coming out to Gonfi super early. We spoke about P4. Well, he's just struck with the C4. Not quite finished the man off, but at least has put him down. So that will put Secret on guard here. They need to get Gonfi back up ideally. And sure enough, come back up he will with the Finker. Obviously, recent changes really giving her a lot of presence in the meta right now. The Gon 6, the frags, the heal to everyone on the team, plus being able to get down members up. That already existed before, but here we are. Just very valuable for not having to put yourself in a precarious situation to revive a down teammate.
Shield cleared out of Trophy. They'll allow Impactable to hold an angle now in through that games room wall. Keenan starts to push into Master Bedroom, and that is it now. Secret have got control of the top floor up to site, but not yet into site. Kendrew just going to dump out those nades into the attic and look to continue his push on from that side. We've got what looks like a Goyo shield cleared out inside of games, so that fire will just die away over the next 5 seconds or so. And Team Secret, so far so good. 2 minutes, they've got a lot of control. There's nobody really out there to hurt them too much, I don't think. They still need to deal with P4. They need to be aware of that potential flank, but other than that, looking pretty good.
Yeah, in a spot where they've got the trophy push on the go. Kendrew's inside of attic, as mentioned, albeit a little bit late in pushing his way through, I think. Has he used any of his blowtorch? He's used a bit. And almost gets himself tagged out at the same time, actually. So he did already have it open out. It's not the end of the world for him. Here looking to push his way, I believe, onto the kid's window. Lucky that he didn't carry on, else he could have jumped straight into that frost mat that was sat inside a pit. And in comes Stabbin here now, trying to work his way out wide, but he's getting flanked out by P4. We mentioned about the terror of P4. Trying to see what else he can do in the round, doesn't really matter, as Keenan, the last one left standing, finds himself one, can't find the second. P4 strikes big. Just again, great evidence of how you need to deal with these Romans, especially when their name is P4.
There was one thing that I picked up on, Des, that Secret had not dealt with in getting the control of the top floor and being ready to push, and that was P4.
Mr.
And he
4
comes back to haunt them big time, just making his flank up the armory stairs, picking up a couple of kills, and Vitality getting themselves another round on the board. It's 2-1, and they're going to be looking to build a bit of momentum. They want more of a lead out of this now. They don't want to be fighting, scrapping for every single round with Team Secret here. They just want to get it done. They want to get themselves some breathing space, because the thing is, Vitality, as we've said, have got a lot to play for. You can see in the top right of your screen there, the win here, 3 points, puts them up into third place, puts them up into the major spots. There is an awful lot on the line for Vitality. And whilst it might not all be said and done, it certainly starts here. And so Vitality, they don't want to be getting into some fight in the gutter with Team Secret, round after round, back and forward, go into overtime. Now's the time, Vitality. You've had a couple of play days in your boot camp. You've had time to do work as a team. You're playing one of the bottom teams in the league. Get in there, get the job done, be clinical, send a message.
I do really need to find out when their boot camp ends. Remember at the back end of last stage 2 when they...
I think it's roundabout. I think this is the last game they're playing from
Oh,
there.
not again.
I think don't quote me on it, but I think it could be.
Guys, Ace said it. This is their last game in the boot camp. So if it all goes wrong, Ace was the one who told you that information. I mean, you did say it.
I did say it. I think it is the last game in the book.
The thing is, for those of you who missed stage 2, it came down to their final play day. They went home before the last play day. They sucked in the final game of the stage and missed out on the major as a result to Na'Vi. They've already been here once before, so forgive me for being nervous about them potentially going home after this game if that is indeed true, which Mr. Ace of Pyrite told me, therefore I can only assume it's true, because he never tells lies.
Oh, it certainly wouldn't be a lie. Look at the aggression coming out there, but Bibu completely spoiling his opportunity there as Gonfi manages to win that fight. Bibu just not swinging round quite far enough. I don't think he anticipated the man being hard up against the wall there, and so that gives Team Secret an early advantage, and they've not done bad on the entry so far, to be honest.
The only comment from me, he's not a compliment for sure, is again the drone count. Some teams today have been awful at this. 2 minutes 15 remaining we're in the round. They only have 4 drones still available to them. So a little light on the info side. Now, some will look at that and go, it doesn't matter. They've got the Iana. They can just use the decoy. That's your intel gathering. That's not really everything. And a decoy can't watch a flank for you, for example, which is where I feel a little bit nervous. First stim coming out from Sleben here as the push starts to move forward, I imagine, from members of Vitality trying to get themselves into better position. Team Secret, sorry. No one really making a push forwards, though, mind you. So... bit of pause. They've done well to get to the point in the round where they've found the entry, they've got the control they need around the map. Now it's about the execute and moving with pace.
Certainly is. Pikeball's going to get this hatch open, so that will start to move the man inside of Laundry. Just going to force him back a little bit deeper. We'll see the electrical hatch opened as well. Now,
hot drop.
He's going to hot drop this. He's going down with this, and as he does, he dies, Des. He dies a hard death as Shinka picks up 2, Pikeball and Keenan, and they were definitely ready for that attempt of hot dropping the hatch. Gomfi does manage to find P4, though, and keeps the dream alive for Secret inside of this round. It's 3 versus 2. Got the advantage, but there comes Cactus with the Auda. But all the time, Team Secret seem to find their own kill, seem to keep themselves on top. Cactus trying to challenge through the bomb chassis there, but it is a difficult one as he moves around. I think the angle is covered here. Yes, Kendrew, Lead Pro knows the man is going to move into highway, shuts him down. Team Secret keep things level and keep Vitality sweating.
Just a little bit. I get the idea of the hot drop as well. Many be looking at that going, why the bloody hell would you do that? I mean, realistically, when a hatch opens, it's kind of rare for a team to just instantly peek it and hope to win a gunfight on it. You tend to back away and then just let them kind of drone forwards, kill the drones, whatever else. Let it play out a more natural way than peeking the hatch immediately. So I get it. You would assume no one would be dropping with it. In this case, there was, and Shinka very fortunately had his eyes on E-Box and picked himself up 2 kills very, very comfortably. Now we're going to see the Valkyrie stepping in as that mirror gets 6 picked away for a meeting and kitchen hold. I wondered how long it would be before we saw one of those 2. In this case, the Valkyrie is the go-to pick. Whilst on the other side, Kendrew maintaining his form of picking between different operators. It's going to be the Monty here in round 5.
Yep, certainly not unusual for Kendrew to mix it up if anybody on
he
this
was the Na'Vi Shield player back in the day.
Well, yeah, back in the day. I'm talking more recently on this side. It's quite often that Kendrew will switch operators round to round. But as you say, bringing the Monty along now. He's certainly got form, as you say. If we look back in his history, he can certainly knows how to handle a shield. We'll see how much of an impact it can have here. So the site is going to be meeting and kitchen. There's a number of attacking pushes. Historically, when we first saw this as a site on the Oregon rework, it was all about rear stage, getting in there, opening the wall, getting the diffuser down. And it's a lot less so now. We tend to see these top floor holds. Teams want to get in and clear them out before they try to think about getting the diffuser down. So I'm sure some of the utility and manpower on the top floor will come under scrutiny pretty quickly in this round.
So you'd hope so. Small tower push going to be the starting point for the majority of Secret, then working their way forwards from here. Understandably so, they want to look towards kitchen to kick things off. I mean, it's always that choice of do you go stage, or as you mentioned, you know, some cases you want to rotate over to small tower and make your push happen from there. It's options open. Now, if it were a dining site you were pushing into, different conversation. But because it's meeting, it means they want control of dining and showers to make a plant happen inside a kitchen. And normally to make a plant happen inside a kitchen, you need the vertical control. So I think you might see once they've got some control established around Zulu with Kendrew, they'll try and push their way upstairs and get further control before looking to make the plant happen. Look at the 2 of them just crouch walking. What are they going for?
The man on Freezer stairs could be a bit of a problem here. I'm not sure if Team Secret are aware or not, but Vitality have got a player out on those Freezer stairs, and if he's able to flank up and work through that corridor, past showers and into dining, into kitchen, in behind Kendrew, that could be a big problem. But the Gon 6 will surely signal the aggression into sight, which is exactly what it does. Now then, they come pushing in. The Tachanka is there with absolutely no idea, Des, as Keenan comes round the corner and finds him. Slebin on a headshot, diffuser going down, but Pikeball has to pull away from that as a challenge comes into him. But Kendrew doing some work with the Monty pistol. Pikeball this time will secure the plant, and Vitality have just got absolutely no answer to this aggression as the plant is successful, and all of a sudden it is advantage Team Secret. Now then, Rise manages to find one almost, but no, Gomfi saves his man, saves the round for Team Secret, puts it over the line, and that is going to be another round for them. 3-2 now, they take the lead on attack.
Imagine if Secret come out and hand a defeat to the Vitality here, which suddenly makes that last Playday very, very spicy and a significantly amount more comfortable, you'd argue, for Kavana and somewhat for Rogue, who would have seen a shaky Vitality step upon Oregon today. Because again, looking back at the history, Vitality have played well on this map recently since the start of June. Secret looked like a bit of a suicide wish coming into this match to play against them, but as it stands, absolutely not. That round, I think, being very, very smart because there was, one player on site that we were worried about, and that was the Tachanka. everyone else having to kind of scramble coming up from Freezer's stairs. A couple were playing on the upstairs, and there was just never really a massive threat, I would wager, really, when you looked at what was coming out of Vitality. No reaction to the rush. It's kind of why it's a rush. It is hard to react to. But only one man was on site, and that made it all too easy for Secret to get control and force Vitality into a retake basically immediately. It was really well played.
Final defensive round coming in for Vitality, and they could really do with putting this one up on the scoreboard and leveling things out 3-3. They don't want to go in and have to attack onto Team Secret already behind. Team Secret going to be attacking onto the basement this time around. They did try to hot drop the electrical hatch last time. Didn't quite work out, but they still managed to win their gunfights down in the basement. So they may well just take a similar approach. Try to surround Vitality. That seems to have always been the plan for Team Secret. Get down Laundry, get into Freezer. Just try to establish multiple points of ingress, multiple points of attack, and just basically grind Vitality down.
Well, here it's going to be another relatively heavily sided start in Small Tower. I think you have Packball starting out towards the far southeast side, so his intent will be to get inside the front lobby and look to get the lobby hatch open, then maybe work his way through to meeting if that is going to be part of the play. Kendra was starting his way down inside of blue, I think just to give the impression that someone was pushing in, keep Vitality guessing and busy. And they've got an interesting setup actually inside of the supply wall if we go down a floor look. They're not playing like a smoke, like a shield on the corner as you might come to expect, but instead you've got the mirror with the mirror window watching it. So a bit different to what we're used to seeing. Going to be completely ineffective in the round because Secret aren't pushing from that direction, but kind of cool to see it either way.
Sleben already down inside of Freezer, 50 seconds in, and as I said, you can see from the silhouettes, there's some towards rear stage, there's Kendrew, there's one towards Laundry. It's, again, this multifaceted attack coming in from Team
timing.
Secret. Out comes the nade. Rise is going to dip away. Going to take a fraction of damage there, not too much, so it will allow him to continue playing inside of that Shaco spot and just avoid any potential further damage, but that pressure is going to continue on him as Kendrew now has the hatch open, so Pillars is basically a no-go for Rise now.
Yeah, the problem is the south side attack, at least into Freezer, kind of got completely dissuaded on the side of Secret. They've got no smokes to smoke out the mirror window to make getting closer to it easier. And running headfirst into that is just a death wish. You would not dream of doing it, which is why they've rotated over towards Laundry and got focus on E-Box. Now, there hasn't been a hot drop, you'll be delighted to know, compared to in the prior round. And Kendra's returned himself back over to pushing his way in towards blue. Will have to face off against the mirror window if he tries to work his way down the elbow. Keenan, what? Rise, you can't be losing that, buddy. The man's there with a grenade, a pistol. He can't decide what weapon he's using and still walks away the winner of the gunfight.
Team Secret very fortunate to come out of that position on top, and that's exactly the sort of moment that Vitality could end up kicking themselves for, Des, were they to lose this one. Kendrew just looking to challenge onto elbow here, but there's a lot of utility to try and play through. There is a mirror window, there's players in behind there's one around Freezer. It is not going to be easy for Kendrew to peek that angle safely. He's maybe thinking about dashing across. If he can get a melee hit onto the mirror window, it would smash it out, but P4, he manages to use his nitro to find one onto Keenan. Out come the flashbangs, and that makes it difficult for the man in Freezer to stay in position. And Gonfi and Sleben, meanwhile, managed to find two. Diffuser going down, and once again, Vitality are at man disadvantage. Des Kendrew, he gets one. It's all on Cactus, finds two, but he still has two more to go. Shut down from behind. He had one either side of him, and he just could not compete. And Secret right now, they're starting to run away with things. 4-2, and they're looking good.
Who knew? When the pressure's off, you can play pretty well. It's the way it's shaping up in this game. Yeah, 4-2 on the attacking side of Oregon. Vitality map pick. Not a bad start for Secret at all. Vitality just crumbling under pressure, because we touched on it throughout the round, right? There was the mirror window facing into elbow. There was one facing into Freezer. Vitality knew that the only option Secret had was to come down through Laundry, to strong arm their way in through blue, or to come via like E-Box and North Tower. It wasn't like a particularly unexpected push coming out of Secret, but once the round got rolling and the execute started coming underway, Vitality just crumbled from there, and it's a bit uncharacteristic, dare I say. Well, not so much uncharacteristic as much as it is unexpected is probably a better word to describe it. Because I'm not going to sit here and say Vitality is some bastion of, of defense, of never losing a defensive round when they've got an advantage. Of course that can happen. But really, that's a round that I look at and say, well, with what you've denied away with the mirror here, surely Secret can't walk away the winner. They were out of X-Caros to deal with the mirror windows. Everything looked too easy for Vitality, and they still lose the round.
Honestly, I think this game largely comes down to just being a great example of what pressure can do. And I know we keep talking about it, Des, but as I've said, Team Secret, nothing rests on this. Vitality, not quite everything, but a lot rests on this, because if they don't win here, if Secret get the 3 points, Vitality are then heavily dependent on other results, I think, come next Playday. You know, that is not going to be an easy situation for them.
Let's just say how it is. I'm giving you a device to look at that shows you what the current standings are.
That's it. If Vitality don't win now, they stay on 12 points. They have to play Rogue, so they can tie up with Rogue and get the head-to-head. So it just piles everything onto that game, because effectively by winning that, they should then force them out of the major. It should be a direct contest for that major spot between the two of them. But let's be honest, Vitality aren't exactly playing well under pressure right now when they've got an opportunity to try and avoid that sort of a situation. So, you know, it doesn't really give me a lot of faith that if it comes down to that final matchup next week, that's going to be this under the magnifying glass. That's going to be this, but even more intense.
Rather than it being the last game where they slip up, it would have been the one before, the penultimate one, the one that we are in now, and it wouldn't have been a pretty affair. The one, of course, to consider is that as it stands right now, G2 are still in with a spot of being able to even make the major, which is crazy to think about. They're on 10 points. At the minute, it's only Na'Vi, Secret, and Heroic that can't make it. It is really all open still coming into that final Playday. Even Empire in second place aren't locked in. A win in their second game against Na'Vi will change that. But it just goes to show that you need to make sure you are here next Monday for the final Playday, because there is a lot on the line for Sweden. Let's see how the push comes in for Vitality, already running into one of those Capcan traps. And I love Capcan on the sheer basis of, if you know that there's one and you've ran into one, first off, unlucky. If you've droned it, good for you. You now know there are 4 more scattered around the map that can do some damage. And in this case, the ultimate tripwire is set up inside of the big tower. It's Kendrew set up on the top floor on the Alibi. If he remains undroned, we've seen what happens when players get ignored there before, Ace.
Certainly have. It can be a big problem, and right now it certainly seems to work. Kendrew playing smart there. Instead of shooting out the drone, he's just going to drop himself back away. It depends exactly what happens in terms of man count. If Vitality have people who die out in the next few seconds, what a beauty from P4. Knew that there was a man in behind the washing machine, shuts him down with a beautiful headshot, but here goes Kendrew, Des. This could be big. Absolutely no idea. Wakey, rise and shine as he gets put down with a headshot.
A bit too comfortable. 4 versus 4. C4 singing over the top, landing just in front of P4, but not enough to put him down. Gets juiced back up ever so slightly with his last nanobots charge. Gomfy finds himself down, so surely Vitality. This is a round where you can walk away the winner, but Kendrew has rotated himself all the way down. You can see above the hatch. Does he know about the man below him? Yes, he does. Go on, it's a second one for you, son. Just take the shot. Kenny, please, just take the shot. Kill the man, bring him down, and the time. Oh, they get the last 2 as well. Patball on the...
It stands at 5-2 in favour of Team Secret, and now they've got on the defence. There's, you know, we were asking the question in round 7. Obviously, we haven't seen Team Secret on the defence yet. They played well on the attack. Will that continue? Well, I think we've just got our answer there, and it has. They are keeping themselves unpredictable, and they just seem to be one step ahead of Vitality, and it just shows that last couple of kills coming in, they were playing with the food, Des, at that point. Team Secret were playing with the food.
Kendrew was especially, and I think that's the... I always look for these things in rounds that don't suggest it's air quotes a normal round of Siege Fight. That one I put down to them not droning out Kendrew. Kendrew tucking himself in really well and holding position for a good minute or so before making his move, so there is definitely some commendations given to his side. For Vitality, it was the basics of misdroning. Now, if we get to a point where there's a decent execute with relatively even numbers, that's when you'll really see what Vitality are made of. But if they can't get the basics right, like you said, missing out the droning, it's a very different conversation you're having about this team.
It certainly is, and as you said, we've got to, I've just got to shout out that choice as well from Kendrew. We saw it firsthand, not to shoot out the flank drone. It couldn't see him at that point, and the sound of that shot could have been all that Vitality needed to know what was going on, and it was a great choice from him not to do that, and it just facilitated him to be able to get down there. He may have shot it at another point just before going and making that push, but whilst he didn't need to, he just remained patient. Kendrew once again getting aggressive, and the thing is, Des, we've seen this from Kendrew. We know the gunning ability that he's got, and when he's playing confidently, he can be an emotional player, and when it's not getting to him, when he's playing confidently, when he's out there and getting kills, and it's just, go and be unpredictable, find kills, he can be absolutely lethal. That is what he is right now.
This is such a classic, like, camera to have out as well. Like, it shouldn't be surprising to them that there could be, I mean, maybe at their level they're like, oh, there's no way for someone to throw a camera there. You best believe it because it's there. Patbull almost losing his life as it follows suit, but still being alive at least for now alongside Keenan, who's also down to about half HP. Almost a Patbull landing a shot there, but not quite enough to find the man on the other side. Grenade coming in from below, and it's a freebie onto Patbull, who can do nothing but find himself losing his life. One more inside of security. The swing comes out. There's also one in Freezer. P4 being challenged by 2, and it's the right kind of play to bring through, I think. P4 down to about 60, but forced away from his angle on towards Zulu.
P4 just being challenged from multiple directions here. I'm not sure if he knows that he's fighting against 2, or whether he thinks that it's just 1 or 3 at times. Now, Gonfi takes some damage as well, and these chips, they're going to wear Team Secret down because they've got 2 men near enough about half health now, and they need to be really careful about the challenges that they're getting into. But once again, Des, a Team Secret player has just maybe slipped through the net. Sleben is on Freezer stairs. If the drone doesn't pick him up, this could be deadly. It has. They know that he's there, and Shinka takes him down with the nade that he bounces off the door frame. Keenan tries to use that nitro to stop the push, but a man makes it up wide. He doesn't get the challenge though, as Keenan comes through with 2 and is able to apply some pressure back on the stairs, but it's all up to Gonfi. 1 versus 2. 1 on the window, 1 on white stairs. He's going to have to fight them on either side of him.
He's got to make a choice here. Which one does he look towards first? The best thing is they've got a Valkyrie camera sat on white that can see if Bibu's pushing up. So with that being watched, he doesn't really need to sit and watch this angle right now. He can just afford to turn around and watch the window if he so chooses. He must know that Cactus is out there. Force the 1v1, my son. Don't get yourself caught up here as the push comes through. But they've got a bit of time, 20 seconds to play with, and the push comes in. They'll surely see him now. They know that this decoy is coming. I'm sure. I'm confident of it, but he's still looking out towards the door. One swings round, they see him, and he gets it down. It's not even the right one. Almost gets the next, but Cactus finds him first. Gets the shutdown. Fatality to 5 and 3.
Very, very close there from the last man inside a site. He had the information, he had the plan, Des. He just could not execute, and Vitality get themselves 1 back, but Team Secret still firmly in the driving seat here on Oregon. 5-3 their lead now, and it's going to be kitchen and dining.
I mean, looking at how the round was playing out, 4 versus 3 for Vitality, 2 or 3 really aggressively challenging out towards Showers was the right play. P4 was forced on the way back, and a good little closeout by Vitality, getting the nade come through for Keenan to find that 2K that really shouldn't have happened. Just slipped the net as a couple of players did in the round, and we kept saying that, one more slips him by. Another one has slipped him by. It was a recurring theme throughout the round, I think, and sure enough, Vitality walk away the winner, but only thanks to that closing 1v1 from Cactus. Otherwise, it'd be 6 and 2. And Vitality's major dreams would be all but over. However, at 5 and 3, they are still in with a fighting chance.
Dining and kitchen, Gonfi putting utility down on the upper floor of the small tower. 2 laser gates applied up there, so I would expect to see a man trying to hold on to that, and I always find it a really fascinating position. We've had some great battles there, Des. You know that I'm going to throw straight back to the Leon Giddens Nitro out of the window there.
3K.
We've had some absolute classics. Kendrew as well, we've seen, if you remember, play up here. I think it was on the Frost one time. Absolutely dominated from up here. So certainly no stranger to this area, Team Secret.
So hopefully not. It's how well they can hold it down with C4's on side. Mister is just the one sat on Patbull at this point. Kendrew, he's going to try and push his way upstairs now. So surely he's not going to try and climb the ladder at this stage in the round. They'll probably spot him out or hear him, at least on the ascent. But no, rather than going up into heaven, he descends down into hell, where he's hoping to find himself a tasty morsel or 2 as Vitality start pushing their way in. They know that someone's been through as well because they've seen the rotate opened up. They know the push is there, but where has he disappeared to is going to be the big question. How much time can he waste?
So they know that Patbull is in closet. You hear the drone get dropped. I'm not sure if there's a mute jammer just in there to protect him. It does see him. They need to move away quickly. Patbull has the rotate in place, but he comes back for more, Des. He's going to hold this angle anyway. He's desperate to try and play it, but no. Thinks better of it, moves away, and he's ready next to that hatch to drop if needs be. But Raz is pushing in here. Cactus drawn in for him. The wall into Kids Dorms is actually closed at the moment, so there's some security for Patbull if he wants to hold on for the time being. I'm not sure that they're aware of his location because they're just checking the closet there to make sure he's actually vacated.
You have an idea. I mean, yellow pings are coming through for some reason when there's no one really present. That wall being reinforced off, very normal, because the defenders will fall back into kids to go for the drop as well. Most teams will normally send a Maverick or something to help clear that out and get the wall opened up. Vitality just starting this one very, very slowly, mind you. Even with the Maverick on side, Shinka still sat around on drones here. I think, again, the kind of heebie-jeebies they've been given by knowing that Kendrew is running around here somewhere is part of the fear. They now know that he's in the basement. He's just killed the drone. He's just found yet another Vitality are down to 3 drones. Really good drone clearance coming out from Kendrew. Really need to commend him for that.
Absolutely, and we can see now Cactus Rise trying to work together, trying to get some traction in towards site. That's going to be the hard breach. Cactus in position to try and open this kitchen wall, and ultimately that will likely be where the plant attempt comes in, but they're going to need a little bit more control, I think, before they do that, because Team Secret have got a number of men still inside a site which are going to be able to challenge onto that plant location should they try and get in and get the diffuser down. 50 seconds left to go, and Packbull's in a crucial position here, still able to play upstairs. He's got a man at the top of white just holding on to things for him as well. Team Secret, they're not looking bad at this moment in time.
Oh, he can't get away from it either. He's kind of forced us to kind of tank the damage from that one. And the Shinka coming in behind as well. He's got to go soon. Go now. Go now. Gets the freebie as well. They didn't know he was tucked in the corner. Gomfi after finding the first, which is now going to force Shinka on the rotate round. He can't afford to sit and get the wall open. He's got to try and nade the man out, but it bounces off the wall. Maybe not quite he was looking for. The second one coming over. The C4 not connecting. Packbull is still alive, and there are only 15 seconds to play in a 3 versus 3. Shinka needs to make it happen. Losing one from above. It's traded out straight after a 2v2, and now there's a scrap on site, which Kendrew wins. Shinka on the push down has got to try and do something, anything, but 3 seconds on the clock means nothing can be done. It's a round to Secret. They move up to match point, and my God, if you are on Vitality, you're lacking in that team name right now, because the pressure is building and draining that life away from you.
And the thing is, I think that's going to be a big mental blow for Vitality, because they already know that they've lost at least 1 point. Even if they can come through as tough as it looks and they can get back and win this, it will now only be an overtime win. It will only be 2 points. It is enough to keep them in the fight. They're still in the fight, even if they don't get any points here. But
it requires other teams
to do. It becomes more and more difficult for them. There is more and more opportunity for them to miss out. So, Vitality, the pressure really is mounting now. That is going to be a big blow, knowing that they've gone on to match point, and the best that they can do now is overtime. But still, they've got to dig deep. They've got to find some reserves. They've got to just fight back, Des. It's time to dig their heels in. It's time to put the brakes on this runaway train that is Team Secret right now, and it's time to stop letting them have the run of things.
The sentence I've used to describe Vitality to most of the talent team, anyone that I speak to, is they are the most consistently inconsistent team we have, it feels like, at points. And I'm pretty sure all of us have said they are the bane of our predictions. I think
I predicted them wrong every single week.
Exactly. Like, they are...
I predicted them to win tonight after last time's performance. I thought, yep, they're looking good, and there's a lot riding on it.
Most people have, because they're against Team Secret, who are not playing well at the minute. Yet Team Secret are rolling over them. Where is the Vitality that back in Stage 2 on Playday 2 decimated BDS? Where was the continuation of that form? It just never hangs on. And I've always feared that is the constant frustration with Vitality, is the capability is there, it just never stays for long. It comes in ebbs and flows, and that is not enough to be a top team. In fact, I'll go on paper saying the thing that makes a top team is being relatively consistent. You will not win an event, for example, if you are not consistent the whole way through. And that seems to be their going concern every single play day.
Another important thing and another big factor in being a top team, Des, is being able to grind out results even when you're not playing that well. It's being able to win scrappy games.
Pull off Sir Alex Ferguson.
If you want to be a champion, you got to be able to win dirty. That is the bottom line. It's no good just coming in and winning the games that are 7-1, 7-2. You got to be able, Des, to take a tactical time out at 6-3, 6-4 behind, come back and win it in overtime. Like BDS against Kavana. You want to be a top team, you got to be able to win those games when you're on an off day, and I think that's what Vitality struggle with.
Right, where's Kendrew? I haven't seen Kendrew so far, I think, because we've gone through all the different players. Okay, he's ratting it out. That is beautiful.
Again.
I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. If someone had droned him in through outside construction here, they would have seen him. Oh, this is just... Please, Vitality, not like this. You cannot have 2 rounds where you've been cheesed off and shut down by Kendrew.
Keenan there is just shooting to try and pull attention to him. So that Raz is well aware that there's a man on the stairs. and he's going to challenge immediately towards the stairs. He's just doing everything he can, and he'll take some more shots in a second take his eye off Kendrew so that Kendrew can get an absolute freebie.
And even if Kendrew dies there, Keenan's there for the trade. So really very smart play. For Vitality, the play would have been to come in from that door to the right and apply pressure from 2 different angles. But instead, they leave Rise to do it solo. That is not the way to clear that out. And sure enough, the sledge is gone. The nades are gone. They're going to have to make this work in a 4 versus 5, and the clock is running down. There's 60 seconds left, Tim, and I'm not feeling confident.
Not at all. You can see Vitality. They just resort into a bunker push here, Des. We haven't seen them do this through choice. There's a minute left. They've rotated around. Other things haven't really worked. They don't have rear stage at the minute, for example. Kendrew is still here on elbow. There is a lot of boxes that have not been ticked if you want to try and push in through bunker. It's going to take a gargantuan effort. Kendrew, he's been sealed in a coffin here, Des. Team Secret are saying, that's fine. You play your life there. Let them try and play into you. Let them waste time, waste utility. And guess what? You've still got a wall to open. You got 25 seconds. There's so much work to be done.
I think Kendrew was laughing as they locked him out, so I don't know if it was necessarily by intent, but that's the way it's worked out. Bibu finding another one back. Gonfi being shut down, so Vitality have got the command of 4 versus 2. But look at the time, Tim. That's going to be the worry. Never mind, they've found the kills. They've flurried over Secret, and they extend their life by at least 1 more round.
Keep it fighting somehow. Who knows? They were 4-5 down on the man count after Kendrew got the opener onto Rise. It just looked with 50 seconds like there was just going to be too much and Secret were just shutting up shop, but somehow Vitality managed to find a way through, and that's the Vitality we need to see, Des. We need to see that on a bigger scale. The back's against the wall, the time ticking down, they win scrappy, they get it done, and they need to apply that to the rest of this game.
Can we just agree, no more locking Kendrew in elbow? I'm not sure how I felt about that. Like, maybe he made the call of, okay, we haven't got a smoke to waste time for us, so lock me in. I'll hold them off while you guys get in and reinforce the wall, because otherwise I pull back in, I try and reinforce the wall. I die doing so, they haven't got to open the wall, whatever. It's just one of those where I'm looking at and thinking, okay, could have been a little bit cleaner than that, let's be honest.
Certainly could have been. We're going to head down to Laundry and Basement once again, Team Secret. They're going to have a go at this.
He's on the vigil to make things even worse. Forget the alibi. Let's bring the vigil out.
That's it, as if he's not managed to keep himself off the radar enough so far. Kendrew, this time, he's going to bring an operator that specialises in exactly that. His gadget enables him to remove his visual signature from the drones of the attackers for a period of time. They do get a warning that he's in the area, but it means they're going to have to go in and face check corners, and that's not really worked out too well so far for Vitality.
And of course, it works up and down through floors, so where Kendrew has been, you know, quite mobile for the most part, they've also got that to worry about. We'll see exactly what trouble he can cause. Not forgetting, of course, the Mute and the Mozzie on side. In fact, you look at every single operator on the side of Secret and you could wager it's all engineered towards Intel. Valkyrie for them, Melusi, of course, more towards the sound, because it gives them a C4 at the same time. Everything just stacks up and says, right, let's slow Vitality down, grind them to a halt, deny that information away, and see what we can do off the back of it.
Packball out on the roam with the Valkyrie, just going to be applying late cameras outside, no doubt, and then checking on them. There you go. Same camera as we saw previously, just looking to see if he can get any information. He's
Give me the drone. Give me the drone.
He's keen. Packball going for the peek outside, but he's not going to pick anything up. He's going to dip away to Laundry Stairs. Kendrew out by meeting, and Team Secret playing a really sort of widespread game here on this mid-floor. There's the want to keep Vitality guessing and just burn as much time. Gonfi's got the rotation as well from security through to kitchen potentially, so he can manoeuvre out if he needs to, but they're aware of his position. P4's already put a nade in there. It didn't get his man, but he knows that he's there.
Here comes the Gemini, just leading the charge forward. Disrupted slightly by the jammers that are nearby, which means there shouldn't be too much information to collect on the way back through. Vitality have got themselves into pretty good positions, all things considered, though. Again, bearing in mind that it hasn't looked too good for them with the Mute, the Mozzie, the Vigil around, so on and so forth, and Gonfi is just waiting for someone to step in. Will Bibu? Will P4? Which one is it? Is going to be the unlucky soul? Neither, in this case. The C4 not connecting onto either, sticking instead onto the server stack and giving them free control of Freezer by the looks of it.
1 minute 30 left to go, and Vitality patiently playing into their positions again. We'll see just how Kendrew can play out of Freezer. It's another position that we've seen him play powerfully previously, I'm sure, in by that bomb chassis, but he's going to move himself for the time being back out towards rear stage just to support electrical and pillars there. Keenan just getting a little bit of backup.
All right, now finally they start getting these hatches open again as we hit that 60-second mark. We've got Rise focusing his way up on North. They've got Gonfi and Harry Potter, Keenan on Pillar, and Kendry spread out towards Blue. So a little bit different where normally you'd see two holding up towards, say, Pillar and Shaiko, and then Kendry would normally be the player holding down at the bottom of Elbow. But here on the Vigil, being a little bit more mobile, looking to be the troublemaker for the team as Vitality start stepping their way forwards. Drones still pushing their way forwards. They've done well to conserve their drones in this round, Vitality, but lacking the information they've so sorely need to make this push happen.
Yeah, I think Vitality have managed to avoid those early losses that have troubled them so far, but they need to be careful that they don't let too much time tick away. Rise is pushing down here, but not quite quickly enough in behind those flashbangs, but he does manage to get one along with Shinka. 2 versus 4 now, an advantage Vitality once again. He gets his man inside of sight. It's going to be Packbull that gets shut down. 1v4, it's all up to Keenan. He can only get one. It's impactless, Des, and we are now at 6-5. We could be heading into overtime.
I know for Secret this didn't mean a whole lot, and for Vitality it means a whole lot more. But almost giving this match back over to Vitality would be something Secret would look back at with loathing. They can't afford to let this play out this way. Surely we don't go back down into the basement? No way. They are going back down there, so even though they've got the choice to go and play somewhere else, they're sticking with Laundry and Supply, the site they have now lost 2 times back-to-back, rather than opting for, say, the top floor or looking in towards Meeting again. Like, they had options, and they're not taking them.
And it's not that they've just lost it, Des. You know, the first round, they were sort of down to the last 40, 50 seconds. They had men on site. They had a bit of site control and you thought they might do it, but it was pretty convincing once the downfall started to happen, and that last round even more so. So, as you say, it's not like they even got closer. If anything, they got further away in the last round. Now, Kendrew, he's switched out onto the Maestro, so that just tells me we're going to see a little bit less of a roam game coming out from Team Secret this time. As I said last time out, Des, Vitality managed to avoid those early losses. They got themselves through to the final 30 seconds with 5 men still alive, and that meant that they had a lot of angles covered when they were coming into sight, and they were able to pick up kills quickly. So Team Secret, not having had that impact out on the roam, they've switched it up, and it looks like they might just turtle up a little bit more and try to weather the storm in round number 12.
They could, or Gonfi and Keenan could be out on the roam once their gadgets are down. They've got those options if they so choose, but we'll see. It does suggest you're likely going to see them more dug in, given Kendra has been the one, as you mentioned, always out on the roam in the vast majority of these rounds. No rat plays. You'll be delighted to know in this round at least how things are setting up so far. And I think Keenan for a second was looking up towards playing halfway upstairs just to deal with any drones. Right now he's actually all the way upstairs, straight back down again, in case maybe there was a drone or two lurking up there.
That's it, Keenan pretty much returning to site. I imagine we'll see him playing that mezzanine on the rear stage stairs for the time being, just aggressing in towards the big tower, just to try and prevent Vitality being too comfortable too quickly. You need to at least make them feel like there's a bit of a threat. Sleben, he's going to be looking to electrify the laundry hatch this time, so that would suggest that he's going to be holding on to the front side of site in particular. Sometimes, you know, you're going to be looking towards maybe Freezer and Meeting, but Freezer's going to be opened at this point. That's the laundry hatch that's going to be electrified with one of those artillery electricals, and Meeting hatch already in the same fashion.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 being denied away, this might slow down and hinder the plans ever so slightly for Vitality. They can't get the Meeting hatch open, they can't get the laundry one open. It's only the freezer one that has currently been opened up. They need a way to deal with this, and there's nothing easy on their side to make do with just that. They've got a bunch of nades they can, of course, go lobbing down through hatches should they so choose. In fact, they've got 8 frag grenades, and that wasn't a lie. They have actually got 8 on side. The UI is not bugged anymore. So I'm looking towards P4 there and thinking, okay, well, only 1 has been expended. Where are the rest of them going to be used? When are they going to start getting committed? Because surely they can go through hatches here and help deal with the electricals once the Maverick has got the tiniest slither open. It's not to be the case here at least, but I'm hoping we start seeing some singing down onto these operators soon.
If necessary, it may well be the case, but for the time being, electrical hatch is open, and as you say, Secret are likely to come under considerable pressure from those explosives. They do have the Jaeger ADSs, but there is no WAM-I on side, so that limits their capability to deal with the throwables somewhat.
First. Okay, 1 gets caught out, 1 goes off, 2nd goes off, a 3rd goes off. So they are deploying them all around here, but not catching anyone. That's 4 of their 7 committed, but Rise still finds the kill from pushing his way down Big Tower. Things looking slightly better. Gonfi having to dig himself out of Harry Potter as he gets droned out once again. Now they know that Rise is pushing his way down. There's pressure from Blue. It's coming in from all sides, it feels like here, Ace.
Certainly does. Rise. He manages to just escape with his life there, and Bibu sneaks in underneath, but Rise hits an unfortunate team kill onto Shinka, leaving us 4 versus 3. Packbull taking damage inside of sight. He's going to get finished off. No, it's going to be Sleben who goes down. Kendrew manages to get the trade, and that leaves us now 2v3. 15 seconds left to go. There is still a timeline here where Team Secret can pull this one out, but they need to continue frustrating for time. Packbull hits a naughty shot onto Cactus. Down goes Kendrew though. Bibu able to start getting the diffuser down. Rise knows the last man is at elbow. Packbull with an absolute killer of a shot onto Rise. Leaves us effectively 1 versus 1. It's Packbull versus Bibu, but Bibu, he has the advantage in terms of HP. The diffuser, it's down, it's active. Packbull, he has the opportunity to pick Kendrew up, and I think he's going to take it. This could be a smart move. It at least gives them the opportunity to cover each other.
He's ran away as well, back into elbow. Bibu playing this perfectly, surely. One walks into him as a freebie here and lets Kendrew can last a naughty shot. Out onto elbow, sees the man, but doesn't take his shot. The diffuse starting to come through. Can he see the man? No, he can't. He's got to push his way forward. He's got about 2.5 seconds. Find one and get the next. Can he do it in time? Oh, he's sticking it out! Vitality, find it! Unbelievable close!
That was down to fractions of seconds, but Bibu timed it perfectly. Just moved in through elbow, wins his first fight with Kendrew. Absolutely essential that he hits those shots, and then manages to get round in the nick of time to take the man off the diffuser. And Vitality, they keep on fighting. They've found some life force from somewhere, Des. They're digging deep right now, and they are fighting for that major spot. They don't want to see the chances slipping away again. It's not all done if they don't win tonight, but 2 points would be a massive help.
I think Easy and the production team know exactly what replay we want to look at. I want to see how close that diffuser was to being pulled off. It was below 1 second. It was dangerously close. And for a second, we had to wait to see which team flashed up as the winner. Here we go again. There's a quick replay. This is back when it was a 3 versus 2. A great shot coming out of Packbull here as well. When he thought for a second that Cactus surely had his number, it wasn't to be the case. And that second shot, I thought, oh, no way. No way is Packbull the one to step up and bring out a big clutch like this. And this is where we'll see that timer again. I think it was the hipfire swing, actually, that came through onto Kendrew here as well. In fact, just quick scoping in. Down to 0 point. You must be joking. What?
It was low.
That said 0-0-0, okay?
It must have been down to the absolute
No. Go again. Look, watch. It's
No, the headshot comes in 1 before.
What? It said 0. Do we know how countdowns work? Oh, okay. Major dreams are alive on a diffuser hitting 0.000. Overtime commences. Vitality are on the attack, and shock horror, Secret are not keen to step back downstairs again.
Whew, I dare say it's... Wow.
It said 0-0-0, dude.
I think the reality is the killer's come in before that, but obviously obviously the animation will take it'll have a number of milliseconds to take it off screen.
Frame.
That's what I'm saying. And that replay isn't single frame by single frame, which is how you would have to see it to see when the kill went onto the kill feed.
This stage has been cursed for like
it's absolute fractions. It's absolute fractions.
Nanoseconds, it feels like. It's that level of ludicrous.
But I think, like I say, the kill comes in a couple of milliseconds before, but you would have to take it down to single frames. Now then, back to the round.
Runs away when a nade comes in through Attic.
We've got a nade raining into Attic. We're going to be up on the top floor. Team Secret continue on the defence, and it's not gone well for them. They only won 2 of their defences. Sleben down in the basement, looking to move up the laundry stairs. He's going to try to just have one of those big impact moments that we've seen slip away from Secret in the last few rounds.
C4 from below, coming out, finding Cactus almost. Down to about 45 HP. I think thankfully was up near the bed. So didn't find himself completely chunked out, but it's a good chunk of HP to be losing. Flashes coming in, hoping to burn out ADSs, I would assume, or those magnets, given there is both coming along here, the Wamai and the Jaeger, because of the considerable number of nades that we have seen continuously brought along by the side of Vitality, and this round is no different.
Certainly not. They're into the master closet now. Cactus going to be able to start opening things up. Has taken some damage along the way, so just above half health for the Hibana, but obviously his job is much more important in opening up that wall, as you say. Bibu just missing there with the first nade and the second. Gomfe takes a fraction of damage there, not too much at all, and he's going to be able to continue challenging. But P4, he gets himself established inside a trophy, just looking to burn out the utility on the inside, which he will be successful with. And Team Secret, they are under pressure, but they're holding on well.
They are indeed, yeah. I mean, pretty much all the grenades have been expended here as well. Goes to show why you need flashes and other throwables that aren't frag grenades to clear out ADSs. They see the man like a snake on the ground, and slain he shall be. Bibu finds 2. The pushing coming through a 4 versus 2. This is Vitality's rallying cry. The plant going down from Cactus. Keenan fights back. Gets shut down as Bibu finds himself a triple. The last one coming up white also gets shut out. Bibu with a 4K in the round, and now you're seeing the cheers and the jubilations return to the Vitality camp. One more round and they take the 2 points. Again, not guaranteeing themselves a spot at the major, but definitely going a long way to helping them.
It certainly does take a big stride in that direction, and as you say, Vitality, the mood has completely swung within the camp now. They're back on top, they've got the lead, they've got the match point opportunity, and they need to get it done here and now. They too were only able to win 2 of their defences. They won in Laundry, they won in Dorms. They're gonna go to Laundry and try to close this one out in the basement.
Alrighty, let's see what happens. The Chanka, the one being deployed this time, not seeing a lean in towards a Warden, with the shotgun as the primary, as we saw previously for the site setups that were required. Here instead, leaning back on the Chanka. Now, the trouble came from P4. Let's not forget we celebrated Kendrew a lot in the second half for his roam play. P4 can't ignore his impact back in the first half of the game altogether. A couple of replays coming in here as well. Bibu's domination, this one could really be tagged. 4 kills for himself in the round.
That second onto Packball was an absolute beauty as he was dropping down the ledge, and then that was an important kill as well onto Keenan, who was just trying to work on the flank from White Stairs. But Vitality, they've just looked like a different beast for me in the last couple of rounds. They move on to the defence now. It's their setup, it's their round to win, it's their game to win, and they need to go on and get it done.
Whew. I mean, different beast since what? They were down 6-3?
Yep. They've just turned it around, and in the last few rounds, as I've said, they've not been playing into the early game of Secret. They've not been coming in trying to assault site with only 3 men. They've had 5 almost every time. They've been playing very, very different in the start of the round. They've been keeping themselves, they've been preserving their lives, and they've been having the men at hand to take the gunfights when they need to.
Alrighty, well, for Secret, it's going to be a start on the top floor, working out towards Small Tower to begin, and making sure this top floor is indeed clear, because they've dealt with the terror of P4 before. They know what it can be like. The first juice coming in quite early, I imagine, as their push tests forward. They want to make sure they've got themselves fully armed with a bit of extra HP. Although normally we're seeing the Finker juice being used when members are on low HP these days, not when they're going into active engagements, because of the reduction in recoil it brings, can really mess players up when the muscle memory is built in to deal with normal recoil levels. So I'm not 100% sure on the idea there from Sleben, but either way it was used.
Certainly was. Sleben's going to look to move his way all the way down to the freezer pretty quickly here. The flank drone will likely just remain in place.
One taken out. I think that was the grenade that came through potentially and connected onto an electroclaw. I'm not too sure. Now starting to step the way forwards. We did hear something disappear. It could have been a mute jammer. Several options on that front. Sleben moving his way forwards and knows that there are going to be a couple dug in further towards the back. Sees the Evil Eye positioned on the wall, and my God, is it evil. Holding him at bay. A good alternative to a mirror window that we saw being brought along earlier on. First nade swings over, and P4 smartly backing away into highway, not wanting to found himself caught out by what could be a follow-up nade.
Halfway through the round, Kendrew's going to be getting the electrical hatch open so that pressure can be applied onto pillars, but there's nobody there at the moment for Vitality. Rise does have himself locked inside a Shaiko spot, but he's going to stay there. He's not going to stray too far over, and P4's aware if he needs to retreat anywhere, it's going to be into supply or down to the bomb chassis. So it could be a potential drop location for Team Secret into safety pretty much to be able to push into sight, but Keenan, he's coming to have a little look on the sledge. We'll have the nades in hand, so we'll be able to drop one into pillars, but at the minute not too much value in it, I don't think.
No, absolutely not. They've got all the hatches to play around here too, so can choose where their push comes in from. They've got 2 arming up on freezer, 2 arming up on laundry. And Kendrew coming in from construction. This three-pronged attack surely about to come online in the next 15 seconds or so as we are into that final 40. And it's still 5 versus 5. And let's not forget there's a Chanker on side now burning out ground before them. You're going to have to make a move soon. However, it is only Kendrew they're holding back. In comes Patbull.
It seems like Team Secret are putting all their eggs in one basket here, Des, and it seems like those eggs are going to be cracked and made into an omelette if they're not careful. 4 versus 3 as Vitality start to find the kills, and there's a trade every single time that one of their own members goes down. It all comes down to Gonfi from Freezer, and he gets put on ice by Bibu as Vitality come back from 6-3 down to find the win, to find the points that might just take them one step closer to the Sweden Major.
There's work to do, mind you. Look at how things now sit. 14 points for Vitality, 15 for Rogue. They need to get something out of NetSuite. They need to win by some means. And it also shortens the gap for Kavana to get a positive victory in their game against Heroic.